What what up, what up? This is Silver Crow. You know, what up? Silver Crow the Game Mode. Episode 8 of Sauna's Hellblade Sauna's Sacrifice. We're doing the third trial to get the peace shard, to get the sword, pull out you, etc., etc. previously. So, I don't know what's next, but hopefully we can make it. Wow. Excuse me. Sorry about that. We'll continue on now.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good, and wise.
Good and wise.
He was fair of feature. He spoke fair words. He gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
Same place?
Trust us. Where are we? What is this? It's the same.
Ooh,
It's another world. It's lighter. The bridge. It's not broken. It's fixed. What happened? The bridge. It's fixed. Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness. Swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Balder's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
You can feel it. You need the runes to find Dillian. You need Dillian.
I know. Let's go find the room.
He's waiting for you. He always said he's close. He's close. He loves you. Calling you. Dillian. Dillian, we're here. Dillian. We're nearly here.
Chaos.
Go through it. It's dangerous. Follow it. What's behind the gate? Where will it take you? It's in the safe. Dillian, there he is. What are you waiting for? Quick, find a way. Find him. Go through. He disappears. Dillian, don't lose him. Where is he? Where's he gone? We're in the wrong world. He's not here. She's in the wrong world. He's not in this world. He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world. The dark.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillian taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of color stretching away from the gloom. And Senna explored new paths into the unknown.
Come on, Scrappy. Come on. Come on. Okay.
The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Baldur, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Baldur's mother, is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe? I did not ask the mistletoe, Baldur's mother confesses. I thought it was too young. Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear. Where is it?
Dillian saved you. Dillian cared for her like no one else has. Dillian's the only reason she's still alive.
Here's someone. Wait. No.
Do you remember the smell of his neck? Do you can't remember the way he stroked you? Not in this world. Do you remember the way you felt? You can't. Do you remember the way he stroked your hair? Do you remember the way you felt? Senor. Does it feel warm? Do you feel safe? Dillian loves you.
I see everything.
nobody will love her.
Can you remember what love feels like?
Look what happens to the things she loves.
She destroys.
Voila, doors open.
Kill the things that are most precious to you. He led you astray.
You should have listened to your father when you had the chance.
Why didn't you listen to him?
This love has tortured you,
And it tortures them.
Sorry, dog. Scrabby!
Cursed.
Stop it!
your curse has claimed Dillion.
He didn't know. He was kind. Everything gets broken in the end.
You killed him with your love because he believed in you.
Shut up, y'all. Pressing. Wait. I see it,
Dillion saved you.
I think.
Dillion cared for her like no one else has.
Dillion's the only reason she's still alive.
Here it is.
Senua, you've got it.
Why isn't he here?
He's gone.
He's in the dark world.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Dark world. You're in the wrong world. He's living
I
in the
will
curse, Dillion.
without you. Do you know? Was it worth it?
You're still alive,
There
and
he is.
Dillion. Where are you taking me?
He's up there. Does that make you feel? There's a way. There is a way up there. Find the way. She can do it. You're nearly there. Just find the way.
Bingo.
You had that loved you.
You squashed it, strangled it, flattened it.
The curse cannot be undone.
Another history lesson.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Baldur. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf, and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Baldur's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes, and the rollers burst into flames. When Baldur's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods, Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe, and goes to the gods as they throw things at Baldur. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taken home. Huth says, "I cannot see where Baldur stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon." Loki replies, "Here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands." And Huth throws the mistletoe at Baldur. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Baldur is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
Yeah, for the second one. Yes, Jenny, I know you like to get
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Baldur. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf, and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Baldur's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes, and the rollers burst into flames. When Baldur's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zindel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
Yeah, I guess. I see it. Boy, don't rush a good person.
Trials to distract you. They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you. What if these trials mean nothing? Consequences laughing at you. What if they take you no closer to Dillian? Dillian, you're letting this get in the way. What if they are just to tire you out, make you weak before the battle? He was the only one she could trust. Could she trust him?
Where is it? I see. Where is it? There it is. It's backwards. I have to find a way over there. Easy, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, here's another one.
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Baldur return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Baldur stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Baldur, weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they found in a cave. Baldur was never my friend, she says. Let hell keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
Makes sense. Open sesame. Won't open. Blimey. Blimey, I gotta go back to the thingy.
Do you remember the way he touched you? The curse. And now the darkness is swallowing you both.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Nobody will love her now.
Can you remember what love feels like?
Look what happens to the things she loves. She destroys
Why?
them.
Man, how annoying.
Look what happens to the things you love.
Okay, there's one left.
This is pointless.
Oh, not the talisman. The string thing.
Why did you think
The Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Baldur's death. They captured him and took him to a cave. They fetched his 2 sons and turned one into a wolf, and he ripped his brother apart. The gods used Loki's own son's entrails to tie him down and turned these bonds to iron and dangled a poisonous serpent over his face so that its venom would drip onto him. Each time the venom drips onto Loki's face, he writhes in agony. The Northmen say that is the cause of earthquakes. A reminder, perhaps, that if even gods must accept death, then so must we.
he was kind to her? You kill the things that are most precious to you. I believe in you deserve this.
Wait, I have to go downstairs, okay? Can I? Maybe? Yeah, let's try it.
Does it feel wrong? Do you feel safe? Dillian loves you.
Yep, it's here. It's here. Where is it? I see it. Voila.
What if they're all about wasting your time just minute by minute? She's doing You're special. She thinks she
They mean nothing.
being special.
The gods are just... What if the gods are laughing?
Messing with her.
It wouldn't be us.
Was it worth it? First task alive and Dillian's dead. He doesn't deserve to be dead. How does that make you feel? Dillian!
Dillian never much cared for the underworld. He looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Zinbel.
You can do it.
I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see.
Very careful.
And he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillian's arms, had to see the world through his eyes. Slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Go to it. Go to it. That's it. Quicker. Quicker. No! No! It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him to it. Just come to the water. He's drowned.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you, and only you, can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I love.
So that's what he looks like. You can see why
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
Killing you would be too easy. They're taking your memories to torture you. They're taking you from the inside. You're disappearing one memory at a time.
This is so for the game on this end.
It disappears. They're going to take everything.
Shut up!
They're going to take everything you have. The memories of ghosts. They belong to the gods, not to you. They're eating you from the inside. They want to kill your soul. They want to crush it.
Okay.
Body,
This is the end of episode 8.
Mind, and they're going to take it.
We'll be doing episode 9 tomorrow, the fourth and final trial.